Hey guys, today we're going to be going over a quick video about Espeon, and the build we're going to be going over is Psyshock Psybeam, which is one of my favorite attacker builds to play. Okay, so we'll go over Espeon's basic kit and power spikes, anything notable. First of all, you got Eevee's passive. If you're affected by a hindrance, it's negated. When you evolve into Espeon, passive is slightly different, so it's negated and you're immune for a little while. You apply a little slow. It's pretty cool. It's nothing too great, but it does have its moments. Your auto attack with the Eevee, just basic. Your third attack just does a little bit more damage. As Espeon, you have a bar that's filling up, and when that bar hits full, you get your boosted basic attack, which is you fire a beam. It can hit multiple targets, and it slows. We have Swift as the first move, Swift or Growl. It's recommended you use Swift first. It's generally the higher damage move, and it can hit multiple targets when you're first clearing the bundle bees. It just fires 3 stars in a location. It's a skill shot, you have to aim it. In general, it's better the more stars that hit the target. So you kind of want your stars to be aimed on the target that you're hitting. It can go through things though, so it's not, if you want to hit two bumblebees, like the last 2 bumblebees, you can do that as well by aiming for the last one. This upgrades into Psyshock. Is more or less the same move, is a very lengthy description. It's the same move except it stuns when on the impact. If you hit, I think it's 5 of the projectiles. Yeah, targets hit by all 5 projectiles are stunned for 1.25 seconds. And when you get the upgrade, it basically just increases the speed. The other move you get at the start of the game, or at level 2, which is recommended, is Growl. This is a short hit skill, so you don't have to aim it precisely, and it just slows and does some damage. At level 6 you get the upgrade into Psybeam. This is a skill shot, and it fires a beam at an enemy, and this beam can split off and hit other enemies. It does more damage based on the max HP of the first target you hit. So you'll normally be trying to hit tanks, if possible, and then that damage will spread out. It's got a range to it, like it won't be crazy, but it's really good for team fights when there's enemies grouped up, and in general, if you're hitting farm like bees or farm in general, that can also split out and hit enemies. Something to note for Psybeam is that it copies the stun of the first target hit. So if you stun with Psyshock and then hit Psybeam, when Psybeam hits other targets, it will also stun them. It's also noteworthy that this isn't just with Psyshock. If you have something like a Trevenant on your team and they stun with Woodhammer and then you Psybeam, you also copy that stun. It's good to know if you're ever thinking about your team synergy. At level 12 you get the upgrade for Psybeam. This does additional damage to enemies that are unable to act, so basically stunned. So after landing your Psyshock, your Psybeam will do some additional damage. I think it's based on the max HP. 5% max HP of the enemy hit has additional damage, and that damage also copies over 2 other targets in the range. At level 8, you get your Unite move, Psychic Solaire. This holds enemies in place and then releases them, and it also does damage. When you release them, you push them back a little. So it's something to look out for, because if you're looking to hit Psyshock right after the Unite move, it's good to know that it does shove them, so you gotta take that into account. This move combos really well with the eject button, so if you time it right and you eject right after pressing Unite, and I mean right after, you can still grab enemies in the initial stun. You can also eject into Unite if you prefer that. or you can use your eject button in a safer way. If we look at Espeon's general stats, you'll notice that at level 4 you get a lot of special attack, and that tends to go up to 999 when you get to level 15. There are some cooldown reduction power spikes. I know 13's a big one. When you get to 5, you get 5% cooldown reduction. I guess it's level 8, no, level 9 you get 15%, and at level 13 you get 25%. It's good to know, because if you're level 13 and you press Unite move, which also gives bonus cooldown reduction, 30%, you can generally have quite a few Psyshocks and Psybeams right after uniting. Because of the fact that you are a special attacker and you have a really high special attack stat, Spoon works really well with Wise Glasses and Choice Specs. Before Spoon existed, stacking was probably okay. Some people use Body or Amp, but ever since the existence of Spoon, it's only really ever worth using these 3 items. You're losing probably a lot of damage if you remove any one of these. I personally prefer Eject Button because of the use you can have with the Unite move. It's pretty satisfying to do. And also because you don't have any real movement in this build for escaping, Eject is really nice to have. X-Speed is also a nice item, but I personally just prefer Eject Button. Okay, so having a quick look at EV when you first start the game, you choose Swift. You normally don't get Growl this easily, this quickly. It's because Training Tool is running for a little while. But you'll get it around about now if you got any XP share support. If you're not laning with someone, which you should be, then you can just clear like that. And in general for this, you want to basically attack it. You want to use Growl, but you want to save Swift until you're in range to last it. Around about him, he is normally fine. As you can see, it's a little bit off. But that's in general how you would secure. Once you get to level 4, similar story. You just want to basic attack minions. And you have quite a lot of range to secure. So it's a very good last hitting tool. As you can see, once again that's on 1 HP. But if you go into the practice tool and look at the ranges, then you'll see like just about how much it does. Just under half HP for NBDs. So you can combo it pretty well with Growl and basic attacks to try to get it within that range, and you can have pretty decent last hitting. Not many Pokemon will be able to outlast hit you. Obviously Inteleon, because that's in a very broken state right now. But in general, you have very good last hitting to bully people. Once you get level 4, if you can do it at a safe distance, you can obviously check over here, see if the enemy is trying to last hit over here, and you can just like steal something from them. Because it's a level 4 power spike, the same with most of the EVs, you can be quite aggressive once you get that level 4 to try and bully your opponents. Some notable points worth mentioning. Once you get to level 8, you will have your Unite move. Basically just looks like this. As you can see, that got moved back a little bit, the shove that I mentioned. So it can be quite hard to hit your skill shots. I personally would recommend always aiming. You might have to change your sensitivity up and get used to it. You can get away with auto aim like that, but in general, you probably don't want to auto aim because you may be trying to track someone who's running away, so you might want to lead your shot a little bit. Like say someone's running in this direction, you want to lead it a bit in front of them. And to be fair, other than aiming, it's a pretty simple Pokemon to play. You just Psyshock into Psybeam most of the time, and then your basic attack, and that's where the bulk of your damage will come from. When you're trying to last hit objectives, you might want to say hold on to your Psyshock, so you might, when you notice it getting quite low, you may want to just basic attack, Psybeam, and just wait until it's in that range. It normally helps if you got teammates doing it too, and then you can just Psybeam into your Psyshock, just in case you want to make sure that you got Psyshock available for the last hit. It is a fairly low cooldown, but you never know, timing is quite critical when you're trying to secure an objective. You can also use Psyshock to face check bushes, especially in the laning phase when you want to be quite aggressive. If you think around the A50Bs is coming up, but you're about 5 seconds off, you can try check these bushes, or these ones here. If you catch someone, you'll do a decent amount of damage to them, they might have to back off a little bit, and then your team can secure more of the bees, or the birds, whatever you want to call them. Okay, so now we're going to go over one of my gameplays from my VOD. It's a pretty decent gameplay. It worked really well because the team worked really well, which is rare for solo queue. So general clear, we kind of messed up the early game last hitting. I didn't swift in time here. And also, I wasted a bit of time here. I could have probably stolen from the baby talent flame, I forgot what it was called. Try to be a little aggressive here and I try to catch it out. That's a pretty good eject button. I'm not sure if I would have killed him if it did land. But we managed to secure here and land our Psyshock. This is probably thanks to EXP Shed 2, which is a very good item. I'm just scanning the bushes here with Psyshock. I think it's a good thing to do because it's a pretty low cooldown. And if you do chunk some enemies, they have to retreat a little bit. They have to put due thoughts into how aggressive they play at these bees. We get some of the bees, I think, and we chunk them a bit. Meanlook is really good with this move as well, so that works in our favor, and we just try to be aggressive. I know the Squirtle's gonna go for barriers, so I go score. And then we basically achieve what we wanted to achieve there, score. Obviously knocking Squirtle out would be a bonus, but that ain't gonna always happen. Here I messed up the last hit. I shouldn't let him evolve here. And that was sheer laziness. It works in our favor that the Talonflame's probably stealing jungle or something. They might have actually invaded us, to be fair. Or Mewtwo might have overstayed lane. Wasn't paying attention. Here we go, Psybeam. Meanlook again working really well in our favor. And the fact that my team rotated. And we head back to top. I noticed that some of the top laners went bot, so we know that it should be a free score. It's always good to check. Especially with Meanlook too. I've got a really good escape here thanks to the Umbreon. You know that bees are about to spawn. I could check bushes here if I really want to, but I don't think the size is there. The Umbreon does really well zoning, so we can get most of this farm. I try to be aggressive while also taking some farm at the same time. Here we get Psybeam hitting the bee, and that reflects onto the Psyzone and kills it. I can see that my team's got a really good position, but so it's fine for us to be top there. And break this because we're gonna want to push Eleki, and it'll be better going towards tier 2. I can see that there's 4 people on the tier 2 pad, so we probably have enough time to do this. Secure the objective. I could be more aggressive here, to be fair. Get trapped in Meanlook and my team's in front. I make sure I grab some points because ideally we want to push this in. Pick up a kill on Mimikyu. Stay at range here, trying to poke, land good combos into eject Unite. I really want the Quadra, but Venusaur heals a little bit too much. In the end we don't really achieve much, but it was still a pretty good push. It was a good attempt. Things to know here is once you've lost the Eleki push, where you see a lot of people defending Eleki, the enemy's probably going to push your top pad, so that's what we're heading towards there. Just checking this bush to see if the Venus was there. I'm pretty sure they're not because we spot them in the middle bush. I'm just trying to scout them out without getting too close. I know that someone's probably eventually going to be here and the Mimikey's here. I try and leave the Psyshock but I miss, but that's fine. And we just keep being annoying. We head towards bot because we see bot ready coming on. But we still see farm, so we can still be aggressive, zone and move with it. I see that my team's fighting it too, so I want to be involved in it. Get a really good cancel on the Blastoise Knight, which is very amusing at the time. I tried getting Psyshock there, but they unite. I don't know if that was intentional, but they dodged that nicely. And now that the enemy's zoned, we know that we can pretty much take the objective. A little bit lazy with lost hitting because I know that we're all here. Ideally, probably want to save Psyshock if we lost here. I think it's fine in that scenario to just burst it as quick as possible. We head towards top for the Lecky. And we pretty much get that for free. The enemy isn't really here, there's 2 scoring bot. Looking at our unites, there's only 2 unites, so probably isn't the best idea to push it. But after we've broken 2 goals early, I think one of the good options is to keep applying pressure. Not necessarily needing to push their Lecky, but you could like invade their jungle while they're dealing with their Lecky. Right now we just go for a push, but there's loads of other options. This push ends up working out quite well, I think. Very good front line on my team. I get a little bit too excited and unite, and everyone's already dead. Here my passive actually acts like a mini score shield, which is why I can still get my score off. And we land some pretty good combos here, alongside of my team also doing damage. I want to hit up the Glaceon there, but I'm a little bit too late. But I'm pretty sure Talonflame will go for the bead. So it's pretty much an easy kill there. We see that bot objective is about to come up, but it's approaching the 2-minute mark. And you can normally tell that people will back up around this time. Especially because the outer goal is up to you. That's why I stick around. I don't play on the pad because I want to be at range with my Psyshock without being in too much danger. That's why I poke from here. And luckily my Umbreon also rotates as well, which is pretty nice for me. I think I got sidetracked here, so I wasn't paying too much attention. And I almost got killed for it. And that was a questionable eject button, but kinda worked. I still tried to poke here. It's a little bit hard when you got the scoring animation. I get dove here, so I have to unite. And that kind of worked in my favor. If I was being completely honest about aiming the Psyshock, I can't remember. I know I definitely aimed the Psybeam. But with a little bit of luck on my side and very good teammates. I wanted to rip there, but because I was low, we had to recall. Right now, it's a little bit too late to rip. We wanted to head top to defend, but we noticed they were ripping it, so we had to like come down to put pressure on them so they don't just have a free rip. I just try poke from max range while my team frontlines, which is working really well. I may not be hitting everything though, but that's fine. That is a very unfortunate teleport from Mimikyu. It worked out really well for them. I know this guy's gonna try back cap, so I'll just leave the Psyshock. Alright, keep an eye out. We're still trying to defend. We know they haven't really got enough time to rip here. So I'm just pretty much vision for my team here. Could easily just back and defend pads, but this also works. We're pretty far ahead. And all in all, this was a really good game. Like I said, one of those rare games where you have a team that plays really well. Thanks to the Umbreon and my other teammates, I didn't take that much damage. As you can see from the stats after, it was only about 14k tanked and about 85k dealt. As you can see, we end the game with 14 kills, 12 assists, 82k damage dealt, and 14k damage taken. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you guys all for watching, and if you'd like to see more, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.